I got a question for you. If you're in the new boat market, what's some things you had better be prepared for? I know one thing I hear all the time is you need $100,000 if you want to buy a bass boat. You got to have 15 graphs on it. You got to have all the latest and greatest things if you want to be a successful fisherman. That's what the ongoing theme of the conversation is if you're talking about mainstream audiences. $100,000 is the number that they always say you got to have. And they say you got to have a bunch of graphs. You got to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 graphs if you want to catch fish. Let me tell you, you don't need $100,000. You don't have to have a bunch of graphs. In fact, you don't even have to have a 21, 22, 23 to 28 foot bass boat. What if I tell you you could do everything that you needed to do bass fishing with the boat that I'm about to show you today? This one right here. If I told you that you could get a brand new bass boat off the showroom floor for $41,000, that's a true reality. That's how much this boat behind me costs. $41,000, $999. $41,999. I think I said that right. $41,999. Let me show you what this thing's about. So this boat right here is called the Falcon Freedom 18, and it's a value add boat. This boat is for the person that is maybe looking to buy their first fiberglass boat. This boat is for the person that's going from a high school angler. This is a parent that's looking, maybe you have a smaller tow vehicle. You have a mid-sized SUV, you have a minivan, you have a mid-sized truck. You've got a house with a smaller garage. This boat is for a grandparent that wants to take his grandkids fishing. This boat is for a fisherman who is a first-time boat owner and wants to expose his kids to fishing on the lake and get out there and get a little bit more serious about the sport of bass fishing. That's the target audience for this boat, the Freedom 18. Now, don't be fooled just because I said all those things. For you guys that fish in a club tournaments, if you're in a local club, if you fish serious team tournaments, this boat would be a great boat for that. Matter of fact, a lot of us started out in this exact boat that I'm showing you right here. 18 foot, 150 horsepower boat, can do just about anything you need. Let me show you exactly what it's got in it. So this boat basically has literally everything that I have in my Falcon F20 Predator in a smaller package. Can I set my camera down? I'm gonna set the camera down just so it's not so shaky. I gotta find a good place to set it. Hey, real quick, this year I'm actually sponsoring 2 fishermen. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna pay the entry fees, tournament entry fees, provide gear and tournament support for 2 anglers to fish the BFLs. Here's how you win that. You gotta be a part of my straight up fishing community, my straight up fishing school, where I teach people how to be a better fisherman. Not only do you learn fishing lessons from me, but sometimes we bring in other professionals to talk about specific techniques, baits, and even talk about new gear that's hitting the market before most people even know about it. So join the community, check the description box for more details about how you can be a sponsored angler. So let me tell you about this. This particular boat does have a few more things on it than what you would get it off the showroom floor from a dealer. The Falcon Freedom 18 is 18.5 foot long. It comes with, you can get it with, you can pick your engine choice. Of course, if you're smart, you pick a Mercury Pro XS like what I picked here. Okay, I'm just saying. But let me show you. I'm gonna turn the deck around and I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like. It's literally the same layout that I have on my boat. You can see rod locker in the center, huge rod locker in the center. Come over to the side, it has the patented Falcon front to back open rod lockers. What that does is prevent the front to back, just prevents you from throwing your rods in the lake. Most rod lockers are going to open from the right to left. And what happens with that is when you have your rod sitting on the front deck, I don't have any rods with me right now, but when you have your rod sitting on the deck and you open that rod locker and it goes from here to there, a lot of times you lose rods that way. Look what happens with this. It just stays right there on the front deck. Also, you can have access to your rod lockers from inside or outside of the boat. You ever had to try to get in your boat? You ever had to try to get in your boat because you wanted to get a rod out? You wanted to get one rod out and rig it, but you got to get in the boat with dirty shoes, with mud on your feet, with sand on your feet, because the rod locker opens from right to left. But if it opens from front to back, you can have access from the outside, from the inside, and not get dirt on your carpet. Nothing worse than that, right? One thing I like about this boat is I feel like I'm secretly hoping that there's going to be this resurgence of smaller bass boats, smaller horsepower, smaller packages. I hope that's popular again. Now, if you grew up, I'm 41 years old. In the 90s, 80s and 90s, this was the creme de la creme of bass boats. 150 horsepower, 18-foot bass boat. That was the tournament rig. That's what people, Larry Nixon, Rick Clunn, Kevin Van Dam, that's what all the greats started out fishing in. Jimmy Houston, Hank Parker, 17 and 18-foot bass boats were serious tournament rigs back in the day. And we slowly got away from that, from the 250 horsepower to 20 to 21-foot boats. And don't get me wrong, I love my 20-foot bass boat, but something in me secretly wants this to be cool again. So there's a few things you need to know about the Falcon Freedom 18. Couple things is it comes in 4 colors. This is the white and blue. So you can get a white and blue package. You can get a white with a red stripe. And then they also have oyster gray with the blue stripe and oyster gray with a red stripe. There's 4 color packages. They all look pretty clean, to be honest with you. All the Falcon Freedom 18s come on a single axle trailer, but one thing that I noticed, it has got some pretty clean wheels with them. I ain't even gonna say what y'all expected me to say that I say every time I build a boat. They're dirty anyway. The compartments on the Falcon Freedom 18 are the exact same configuration that you get on all the larger packages. The trifold in the back makes it where you got so much access to all your compartments, your battery storage, your bilge pumps, your hydraulic pumps. Everything is so easily accessible because of this trifold. Look how much room is back there. You gotta admit, that is a lot of room for an 18-foot boat. You take those batteries out, I probably could lay back there. So this boat that we're about to water test right now, it's actually not my boat. This is James's boat. James works for Dothan Marine. So if you guys are interested in this boat, you need to go see James. This boat is for sale, right?
That's right.
This boat, you can buy it. How much is it?
$53,900 for as it sits right now. 4 units, Ultrex, everything.
How can they contact you?
Look up DothanOffroadandMarine.com or give me a call, 770-757-3616.
All right, I'll put that in the description box because I know that's a lot. We're about to take it on the water now and see what it actually acts like. All right, let's talk about upgrades as I'm putting this boat in the water. So the way this boat comes on the showroom floor, it'll look a little bit different than what you're gonna see now. So the boat on the showroom floor comes with the 150 Pro XS, single axle trailer. It comes with 1 fish finder at the console, none at the bow. Now, I know some people are probably gonna flip out about that. To be honest, I kind of like that. I think it's good. Here is why I think that's good. The fact that you don't have a unit at the front of the boat, off the showroom floor, it gives me the flexibility to build this boat out. So I think this is a good boat for people that are looking to build out their own package to their own liking. And if it's your first boat, I can guarantee you that you probably don't have the money at the beginning to package it out like this. I didn't. I had to buy a unit. When I bought power poles, I bought 1 power pole. I had that for a while. Then I bought another one. Then I bought another. You know, I bought things as I could. I didn't start off with everything. So I like the fact that the boat kind of comes almost as a template that you can adjust to whatever you want as you go. I'm gonna show y'all a little trick that I learned from my buddy James just a little while ago. I've always had a tough time getting these cases, these strings off the units. I always pry and pull and I can never get them off. He showed me the secret to getting these things off. What you do is you actually take your thumbs, you press in the center of it and pull on the outside, and they pull, well, they worked earlier. Maybe it doesn't work. James! Oh yeah, it did work. Press in the center with your thumbs, like that, and then they come right off. It's not just pulling on the edges, it's pressing in the center. Ah, God, it's still kind of tough. Jeez. Let me know an easier way to get these things off. Kind of takes a lot of work. But let me know this. I'm curious to know if you were buying a new boat right now. You go to the showroom floor, when you're picking out the brand, when you're picking out the size, the profile boat that you want, what's most important to you? What's something that you're looking for? What does the boat need to have in order for it to be something that you would consider a bass boat that you would buy? I'll give you my answer to those questions. First of all, well, this is pretty simple for me. First of all, the things that I'm going to look for is definitely going to be price. Is it going to be in my budget? You can't buy nothing if it ain't in your budget. Second of all, does it fit my needs? Does it fit the things that I do, the way that I fish, the way that I'm going to be fishing? For me, I fish all across the country. I fish for different species all over the place. I fish for saltwater fish. I take my kids fishing. I fish for crappie, panfish. I bass fish. I may be at the Great Lakes. I may be down here at Eufaula. I could be at Okeechobee in Florida. I could be in California for all that matters fishing. So it's got to be a boat that's capable of doing all the different types of fishing that I do. Secondly, it's got to be a boat that looks good, bro. It's gotta be a boat that looks good. I know that sounds real trivial, but for me, like, the boat's gotta have the shape. It's gotta have the sex appeal. It's just gotta look good. I gotta at least think it looks good. And then lastly, for me, it's just gotta have fishability. What I mean by that, it can't be too tippy. It has to be a boat that performs well in at least moderately rough water. I don't always go out when it's super rough, but it's got to be able to take the conditions that I take, and I'll still be able to present my lures, get to where I'm going, and back. Those are my three biggest things. It's got to fit what I do. It's got to look good. And what was the last one I just said? I forgot that quick. I don't remember. Rewind the video and you'll get the last one. Okay, this is the part we've all been waiting on. Let's check the performance of this Freedom 18, baby. I'm gonna take it out here. We're gonna plane off. Here's what I'm looking for. How well does this boat plane off? Seems like low-hanging fruit, right? How well does it plane off? 0 to 20. You can have a great boat all day, but if you can't get on plane in shallow water, is it really good for bass fishing? I want to see how it's going to plane off. 150 Pro XS is what I got on here. It's got a 24 Solus prop on here, 24 pitch 3-blade. Let's see how well it gets on board. Now I need to make sure I can know where I'm going here, because Eufaula can be kind of a dangerous lake. Let's go. Falcon Freedom 18. Now, I did an entire performance breakdown, including the units. The Lowrance Elite 9 FS units that I have with forward-facing sonar. Dude, those are $1,000 units. I want you to see how crispy they are. You can find all of that deep dive and the battery setup, everything that is done to that boat, on my app. It's available for Google Play, Android users, and Apple users. All you have to do is search sufschool.com or go to the description box or comments. I'll leave a link there. Super easy to find. You have all the information. Download the app, including fishing information. But if you're interested in this boat and all the details, add-ons, and the settings of the grass that you may want to use on your own personal boat, that's the place to find them.